Well, it's a nice evenly overcast Monday afternoon, and I'm out in the fall rye, and as you can see, we're up pretty good. We're, consistent 1 to 2 leaf stage here now. There is still a few snow patches in the field, and the forecast is for a possibility of a little bit more snow tomorrow now. So I'm going to attempt to fly the drone at just a hair under 400 feet and cover this 320 acres with a couple batteries, and I'm going to use that as a benchmark to compare in the spring and see what winter mortality was like. So I'm hoping that at that height I'll have a good enough resolution. I should be able to clearly see the crop rows, but we will see. Alright, well, here we go. The drone is off mowing the field, so to speak. So drone deploy automatically sets up waypoints across your measured acreage, and you can see the drone is on its first leg of the grid there, and it's kind of stitching the photos together behind it as it goes. Full processing will be done later on the computer at home, and the upload progress is fairly simple to do, but it does take some time to process, usually at least a few hours. So you can see she's cruising along at 396 feet and should top out at close to 30 miles an hour as it's going. So at this height it's going to take about 2 batteries to cover this field, so I'll have to stop it halfway through, have the drone come back and swap around the battery on it. Alright, so here's the field after post-processing and uploading, and overall it came out pretty good. You can see the strips of snow in there that managed to stick around in the stubble, and they don't really show up when I turn on the plant health imagery, but the main problem here is my resolution just wasn't quite high enough. Even at 395 feet, I ended up with about a 1-inch pixel, and you can see it's just not quite enough. I can see the rows of stubble, but I just can't make out the new green growth from that rye. So it doesn't really show up. What we are seeing here is basically the difference between bare dirt and stubble, and it just isn't working for what I want. But you can see the elevation mapping and everything. Of course, it does work quite well in these kind of conditions where it's not being distracted by the height of the crop. So you can see the high spots here and the low spots, and then we kind of got a higher area here as well. So I'm going to try to fly this again here. Not sure how long that'll take me, depending on the weather. It might be a few weeks yet. Well, Tuesday morning down by McGrath, and kind of a cool sight of the low clouds over the hills there. And yeah, it did snow here a little bit overnight, but not too bad. So I'm just going to meet up with a customer for coffee here and see where the day takes me from there. Well, there's some winter wheat down by McGrath, and you can see we're just poking through the snow here. So it looks like it came up pretty good overall. So now all we got to do is just wait for spring and see what the survivability is. Well, Thursday now, and as you can see, we had about a foot and a half of snow. Hard to tell. Blew so hard it drifted everywhere, and my driveway was about 3 feet deep in the one spot there. So all shoveled out now in time for a trip to Lethbridge for meetings tomorrow. And that Friday we did a tour of the Pioneer Hybrid Canola Seed Facility. I wasn't able to take any video in there that I was able to show on YouTube, just 1 or 2 still pictures. Well, it's a few days later on the weekend now, and I'm just out at the ranch getting everything dug out. So you can see our driveway drifted in pretty good down here. And I just finished digging this through so I can get up to the barn now. And yeah, everything's pretty plugged full of snow here. Not really as bad as in September, but still pretty good. So chickens are definitely snowed in for a little while. Their run is about as full of snow as it can possibly get. So it'll be a little while before they can get some exercise. We need like a week of Chinook out here now. Somewhere under that snow pile is my blacksmithing forge, which might take a little while to thaw out, but customer gave me a nice spring harrow tine the other day, so see if I can turn this into some more knife blades here one of these days. For now, it's just gonna stick into that snowbank for a while. Well, another nice frosty morning off to Saskatoon for a couple days worth of meetings, so I probably won't show too much of that, but yeah, should have enough material for a video relatively soon.
And or from their sides. So they look like these little slug-like things, and here's a better shot of one eating an aphid. So they're kind of aphid specialists. So there's a hoverfly eating a pea aphid there. Ground beetles are running around on the ground.
Alright, just getting my seed boxes set up today. So I got these filled up to about the 2-inch deep mark, which is the layer I'm going to have the seed on, and I'm going to put some more soil on top of that, about 2 inches, which will leave me about a 1/2 inch space at the top, just so it doesn't make a mess when I water it or anything like that. And so this is soil that I've had in the warehouse for 2 years doing field bioassays on, so perfectly safe for cereals, but even after this time may still show some damage if I seed lentils in there. Just because it's been sitting dry in the warehouse, it's had no water and therefore no chance for bacterial breakdown. It is field soil, but it's probably a little bit on the biologically sterile side at the moment. So I need to get it in there and watered and get it tamped down a bit. And then I'm still just waiting on some seed. I got a line on some seed that's about 30% fusarium on wheat. So that should give me a really good indication. Alright, just adding a bit of water now. I'm going to play with these two setups. These came from Syngenta. Just adding a little bit of water here and there, trying to bring soil moisture up from 0%. And this might take a few days. She's pretty powdery dry. The water just wants to sit on the top. Same for these guys. Before I can do anything, I need to get a little bit of water and moisture in there, get that soil biology going. Make sure we got living soil here. And we had our little AgroPlus staff party where we went axe throwing, and Judy ended up being one of the most accurate of all of us. So here she is putting Craig from Adama to shame.
The final act, Gary by 2. And that does take it for harm that final action. Game 3. So one more game. Next 5 throws will determine our winner. In there.
Ah, there we go.
There you go.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.